Hello and welcome to episode 23. In today's walk I'm going to climb Ben Wyvis. I've selected this walk simply because it was the only part of Scotland where it wasn't going to be raining. Well, at least it was raining everywhere south of Inverness. Ben Wyvis is a really nice walk. It's about 30 minutes drive from Inverness and it's the closest Munro to Inverness. It's about 2.5 hours drive from Glasgow. There is a free car park. There are no toilets at this car park. About 5 minutes before you get to the car park, there is a public toilet on the left hand side, just here. I'm going to change back to the standard map. Navigation on this route is about the easiest of the Munros that I've done so far. From the car park, you head northeast for a short period, it's not very long, and the path naturally bends, goes through a gate, bends to the right. So there is no choice here, you just got to follow the path. And it'll start increasing in altitude. You cross over this forestry track, and after that you just stay on the path. You follow the path up through the woods. There is a burn that's running up on your right hand side. And you continue to follow that up until you leave the tree line. And at this point you'll probably find that the wind picks up once you're out of the shelter of the woods. You follow the path up here. I'll be honest, I never even noticed this path here that you cross over, so it must be quite faint. And you go up and there's a series of zigzags and a very well constructed footpath, massive boulders forming a set of stairs up the side of this mountain. And a little bit higher up it gets a little bit more scree and a little bit less sure-footed, but it's perfectly obvious which way you're going to go. And you make your way all the way up. It's fairly steep up to the summit, and there's a cairn at the top here. It's a rather large cairn, and at this point, every time I've went up this Munro, you'll get hit by a lot of wind. You're very exposed at this point, but the cairn is large enough that you can get down behind it, and if you want to put on maybe your jacket or additional layers of clothing because of the wind chill, then you have some protection to do that. There is no more protection on this ridge after you leave that cairn until you get to the summit. From here you head more in a north-northeast direction, following the ridge, but there is a path that goes along here, keeping to the left hand side of this ridge. There are more than one path, you can see there's another path there. If you're on the edge here where it just where it's sort of flat before it goes off to a steep descent, then you're on the right side of, and you can follow that all the way along until you get to the summit. I've been up here when it's been in cloud and white with snow, and it doesn't look so broad in the map, but it is quite wide, and it's harder to navigate when you can't see anything. We've got no bearings, and you simply retrace your steps back down to the car park. You can cut the corner here at this first summit. There are various paths where people have just cut round the corner, because as you descend here, this is you climb back up to this top, but you can just, from about this point, you can just curve round the side and then join back on just about here, just a little bit below the top, and then go back down the path. And you follow that back, all the way back down to the car park. For this week's walk, I've had a look at the weather map and the rainfall over the Saturday morning, and as you can see, the bulk of the mainland of Scotland is covered in rain. So I'm going to climb Ben Wyvis, which is up here just a little bit northwest of Inverness, and it's looking like it's going to be dry there for most of the morning, and then the rain's eventually going to catch up with us in the afternoon. Ben Wyvis is in the Northwest Highlands, and having a look at the weather forecast for Saturday, there's probably going to be light winds, mostly dry, and a 60% chance of being clear on the top. Good morning, it's 10 to 8 on a Saturday morning. I'm at the Ben Wyvis car park. I'm the only car here. Ben Wyvis is up there. Looks like the top might just be under the cloud, maybe in some light cloud. And as you'll have seen from the weather report, it was going to rain pretty much everywhere south of Inverness. So I went for a bit of a longer drive. So this is up near Dingwall. It's a nice walk, this one. I've done it a couple of times, did it last year. So we're going to leave the car park, and it's straight ahead as we look, on your left as you enter the car park. The Ben Wyvis car park is a forestry car park. One thing to be careful of is there is a height restriction of 2.5 metres as you enter the car park. The car park is free. There are no toilet facilities. And then, so parking's over on the right hand side as you enter, and we're going to leave on the left here. There is an information board as you leave, and we'll follow this path for a little bit and then take a right turn. This is another easy route to navigate. As long as you make the turn at the right time to the right, then you're just going to go and follow the route all the way up the mountain. Once you get up to the first summit, it bends to the left, and then it's pretty much a straight walk all the way to the top. As we look at the mountain, the path goes up that darker spot on the centre of the view. It goes right up that edge, then it gets to the top, and then you go along the top. So approximately 400 metres from the car park, the path actually just bends to the right and goes through the fence here. There's no decision, no choice to make. So now we just head uphill. You'll come to this road, we just go straight across, keeping the river that you can hear in the background on your right. I've been walking for half an hour, just coming to the end of the tree line. It's a lovely part of the walk, this, walking up through the woods. Even when it's windy, I think it's quite protected. Now at the very end of the tree line. This stream is your last source of water. We're going to cross it in about 50 or 100 metres, just a little bit up. Once we cross that, there's no more water on the hill, not on the path. You can come down off the summit a little bit at various points where some streams start, but this is your last point to fill up if you use a water filter system. The path, it goes straight on at this point and then bends to the left, and I'll zoom in. There's a little bit of a zigzag there, takes you onto that ridge, and then it goes all the way up the ridge. When there's no snow, it should be really quite easy to follow. It's well defined, certainly up until that first peak. After that, I'm not so sure because the mountain was covered in snow the last time I did it. So we'll see what that's like. Immediately as you come out from the trees, you can feel a breeze pick up. At this point it really does start to get a bit steep. There's a very well made set of stairs. Some of the best steps I've seen. The last time I was up here they were covered in snow, so very nice. Been walking for just over an hour and a half and I've just come up the very steepest section. It's quite a slog. So it levels off a bit here. We come to the first top and then you go along the ridge. It does continue to climb up. I'll check the map when I get to the first summit. I'm at the first top. This is not Munro, but there is a nice cairn here, and as you can hear, if you just duck down you can get right out of the wind, so it's a good point if you want a wee bit of respite from the wind. The summit of Ben Wyvis, is the second top there, right in the centre of frame. It's 2.4 kilometres walk, it should take about 40 minutes. And there's 125 metres of ascent between here and there. We're going to go down a little bit and then up to that top, then down a little bit and then up to the second top. So it shouldn't take very long to get there. Hopefully it's still clear when I get there. It's a bit hazy. There is a bit of a view. This Munro is very remote, no other Munros for miles. On the way up to here, you can cut the corner, you don't need to come to this top. And on the way back I probably will, so you can just cut round on the way up to the left and go straight for that top over there. But it's nice to get a view whilst it's clear. As you can hear, it's quite windy. It's quite significant wind chill. Even then, still some blue sky and some sunshine coming through from time to time. It looks quite wet south from here. Just approaching the summit of Ben Wyvis, and it's clear. This one has a trig point. So you can see it's a bit cold. Just coming across that ridge, it was very windy. It's not quite so bad here. It is 10 past 10 in the morning, so 2 hours and 20 minutes to the summit. Looking at the map, the nearest Munros to here is about 20 kilometres away. So you're not going to do more than one, well, not without driving. It's a bit windy to be hanging around, so I'm just going to head back down. You just retrace your steps, although I will be keeping to the right because the wind is coming from the left, so if I can just keep over to the right side of the ridge on the path, hopefully keep out of the worst of the wind. This wind is extremely cold, it's almost freezing my face off. And this walk today, because it's clear, is very easy to navigate. I've done this in cloud and in whiteout, and it makes it a lot more difficult because there's not a really well defined ridge. I mean, it's easy to see when it's clear, but when it's not clear, it's quite a wide ridge, and it was easy just to go a little bit off to the side. So if you're coming up, you want to keep this drop to your left. It's probably the easiest way to navigate. And going back, you keep the drop to your right. Oh, it's beautiful but cold. Very cold. I don't know if you'll be able to hear this. When I got to the first top, I mentioned that you can cut the corner and you can see those paths. The snow's filled in those paths, so you can cut round that corner. And where we're aiming for, you can see a group of people just there. So we can cut round as long as we end up there, which is at the top of the path with all the steps. It's not got any warmer, so wrap up well for this one. So I've just come across the side of that hill there, joined back up to the path that I ascended on. And then we're about to go down the steep section, down through the woods, back to the car park. And it's currently 10:50 AM. Getting a little bit of shelter from this top, just at the very top of the steepest section. It's some nice views. Looks like it's raining over there. So from here it's just a quick descent down the slope, then back down through the woods, turn, well, follow the path to the left at the bottom, back to the car park. There is another car park, another forestry car park, just slightly further down the road. I think people camp in that one overnight. It has toilets, but from the cell network coverage, it doesn't look like it has any cell phone reception. So it's not much fun if you want to watch some Netflix late at night. This car park does have cell phone coverage. It's definitely nicer. I was down from the top. The sun's come out a little bit. A few people coming up now. That's 11:15. Might get back for about 12 o'clock, so around about 4-hour walk. Just approaching the car park. Been walking now 4 hours and 10 minutes. And whilst I'm up here, tomorrow I'm going to climb Fionn Ven. It's about a 15-minute drive from here. So I'm going to stay overnight somewhere in the area and then do that one for the next video. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Car park's definitely got a bit busier. The sign at the entrance says there is another car park about 400 metres away. I'm going to get a shower because I'm staying over, so I'll just set up in the car park for that. And as always, I look forward to showing you some more of Scotland in the next video. Bye for now.